Hi there. So here's just a quick review of this, the new Apple Magic Keyboard with Touch ID. Now, of course, this was first introduced with the new 24-inch iMacs, but Apple have now made it available as a separate purchase. It's particularly aimed, of course, at owners of M1 Macs, because you have to have an M1 device if you want to use the Touch ID facility. Now I bought this to go with my M1 MacBook Air, and I particularly wanted it because I want to use my MacBook Air in what's called clamshell mode. Now if you've owned a MacBook or a MacBook Air, you probably know what that is. It's where you can attach an external monitor to your MacBook, a MacBook Air, and I've got a nice new 4K display. And then you can actually close the lid of the MacBook or MacBook Air, and rather than putting everything to sleep, as would typically happen, I think, with most Windows laptops, it actually turns the laptop into effectively a desktop PC using the external monitor. But of course, given you've closed the lid of the MacBook or the MacBook Air, then of course you need an external keyboard and an external mouse or trackpad. Now I've got a Magic Mouse, which I use, but I needed another keyboard, so this is the one that I decided to purchase. Now, I got this because I really did want the Touch ID. I do like that. It's really, if you've used Touch ID, you'll know how good it is for logging on, for authenticating with 1Password and so on, for authenticating Apple Pay. You do have to pay a premium. This cost £149, which is really expensive for a keyboard. And in fact, the Touch ID effectively costs another £50. The non-Touch ID Magic Keyboard is £99 here in the UK. This with the Touch ID costs £149, so it's 50% extra, which is quite a premium. But as I say, I really did want the Touch ID because I use it all the time. I mean, I prefer Face ID above all, but of course that's not available on the MacBook Air. And indeed, even if it was, it couldn't work with the lid closed. I'm rather hoping they will introduce Face ID to the MacBooks and the iMac and so on fairly soon, because it's a great feature. But Touch ID is also excellent, so I really did want the Touch ID facility, and since I can use that, as my MacBook Air is one of the new M1 devices, that's what I plumped for. Now, of course, it's a Bluetooth keyboard. You can use wired keyboards, of course, in clamshell mode, but I think a wireless, a Bluetooth one is more convenient. It's an excellent keyboard to type on. Remember, Apple, of course, reverted back to the previous design of the keyboard after the debacle with the other one, which I can't remember if that was called butterfly keys or not, but whatever it was, of course, a lot of people hated it for obvious reasons. Some people liked it, but the vast majority of people didn't. I certainly didn't. So thankfully they reverted to the previous design, and which makes it a very nice keyboard to type on. I really like it a lot. You can get one that also has a numeric keyboard, which I think is another £20. I think it's £179 in the UK. Probably the dollar prices are similar. We seem to have a one-to-one exchange rate when it comes to Apple stuff here between the pound and the dollar. So all in all, I'm very pleased with it. It does exactly what I want. It's perfect for using my MacBook Air in clamshell mode. So I'm very pleased with it, and I would heartily recommend it.